Simone Turner, Regional Program Director for Communities in Schools of Georgia. Communities in Schools of Georgia is part of the nation's largest dropout prevention organizations. We are the most effective organization dedicated to removing barriers that prevent students from succeeding, thus keeping them in school and putting them on the path for graduation and productive future. Our mission is to surround students with a community of support, empowering them to stay in school and achieve in life. The purpose of this film is to educate, empower, and uplift the voices of teen parents. We want to educate them around different methods of contraceptives, STDs, STIs, explain the different types of birth control and how to prevent new pregnancies. It will include adults who have been a teen parent, sharing their stories, and empowering new parents. We will also allow our partners to talk about the services that they provide for teen parents.
This Teen Journey group and also my parents and my family are good support with me. I'd say my challenges were like when he's sick. Those are the biggest challenges because I have to leave him and go to school at the same time. So this is all. No matter how hard that it gets, never give up. And even when you don't have help, also know that you can call on others at any time when it gets to be a lot. I'm about to go to Albany State to take up for a dental hygienist, and I also want to start a business. One thing that I love about being a teen parent is the fact that I know I always have somebody with me and somebody to keep me motivated. The hardest part would be when he's sick and restless or teething, or when you feel like it's all on you. Those are the hardest parts about being a teen parent.
I had some family and some friends and like half of the foster care system. Since I was in the 9th grade, I had a problem like with being judged since I'm so young. I plan on going into the Army and going into the criminal justice field. Having a bond with someone that I can love like for me and won't be judged or nothing. Being a single parent, knowing my mother struggled with that during our like younger years. No matter what you go through, don't ever give up. And if you need help, speak up. Don't just be quiet and not say nothing or you need help.
The supports I had available to me was majority of my main family and my close friends. The challenges I faced as a teen parent was mainly depression while I was pregnant and actually accepting my new reality after my baby was born and getting back to myself. My career plans is to go to college for biology, and I do want to do work as an anesthesiologist, but my main focus right now is to get my bachelor's degree and hopefully I can get my doctor's degree. What I loved about growing to be a teen parent is, although it was hard for me, it opened my eyes to a lot while I was pregnant. It made me realize a lot of things better, and it's kind of like it took off a lens from how I was viewing things before I got pregnant to when I got pregnant. I started seeing things a lot more clear and better, and as I grew back to being to myself, it wasn't a pretty bad experience overall because I learned something from it in the end. Advice I have for other teen parents is everything happens for a reason. You're not in control of how things happen. I feel like if you think that it's not for you at the time, that's okay, but don't overwhelm yourself. Don't force yourself in a position that you're not ready for. If you need help, speak out, take the help, get help. It's so many opportunities that you could prevent ways from harming yourself or your child. Don't just feel like your life is over as if you owe your life to your child. You still have a life of yourself. You still got to think about you first, mentally, and your child. So take all the help you need, all the time away, and just don't put yourself in a bad position that will end up harming you and the baby later on down the line.
The support that I had, my mom, my grandma, and those are my two biggest support systems. The biggest challenges was I didn't know like how I was gonna get viewed by others. I have a passion for working with kids, so I'm going to school now to become an elementary school teacher. But in the future, I plan on opening up a building to where teen moms can have like a daycare that they can go to that's like will help them with funding, because I know like young moms, they want to work and things, but sometimes they can't because they don't have anyone to watch their baby or anything like that. So those are my plans. I would say like making sacrifices. I had to make a lot of big sacrifices, so I would definitely say that. Some advice, I just would say don't give up. That's the biggest thing, because that's what everyone, as a black woman, that's what everyone, that's what they look to black girls to give up, because they think that they don't have the capability of doing it. So that's my biggest thing, is just sticking to it and, raising your baby.
Hello, my name is Haiti Ixmay. I am an 18-year-old with a 1-year-old son. I attend Monroe High School, and I am part of CIS Teen Journey. Overall, my experience has been great with them. They have created many creative ways to bring us all back up as teen moms. We don't have the energy to do really anything. As well, they have given us opportunity to attend events like creative events that they have created themselves so we can attend with our kids, our babies. We also get support from the coordinator. She always has listened to us. She is very kind, and she goes beyond her job because she does more than what she has to do. She always helps with everything that we ask her, like questions that we have about how can we do this or ways we can accomplish something. She comes up with different ways, or she makes her own research and gives us ways to see how we can problem solve. And I do have a great experience with them, and I am proud of everything that I've done this year, because it was hard to be a mom and be in school, but either ways, by them providing us CIS Teen Journey as a program for us moms to be able to sit down and express our emotions and our experience as teen moms helped a lot, because we got a break from taking care of our children, having to do assignments for school. It gave us like a mental break for us to do better in school, because after us expressing how we felt, after all our self-care speeches that we got there, I was like, I understood I can start doing better. I can take care of myself, not only because I have a baby, I will stop taking care of myself. But I'm happy that I got to be in this program, because this program has very much gave me a lot of good memories. And like I said, overall my experience was great with CIS Teen Journey. Thank you.
My mom was the greatest support that I had available. As a teen mom, my mom was my rock. That too really helped me to get through it. Being still in high school, even before having my daughter, one of the challenges was just experiencing guilt and shame, because I had gotten pregnant my senior year, based on what other people would think, what my family thought, being afraid to disappoint the people that really encouraged me to do things in life. And then after having my daughter, not really knowing what to do in terms of childcare, to be able to afford things like that, to find out how to pay for formula, as well as not having an active father, because we were both teens. Neither of us knew what to do. The hardest part about being a teen parent is being a child myself. Not being mature enough to know what to do with a baby. Not understanding how to care for a baby as a baby. That was very hard. Yeah. My daughter's my best friend because we grew up together. She is my ride or die. She is my encourager. She's literally my best friend. I made it. And, you know, that says a lot because I had a lot of things to happen in my life as a young child.
things that happened to me, things that happened in front of me, things that happened around me, that all of those things were things that didn't give me hope. I got to a space where I became overwhelmingly hopeless. So, advice would be to just be willing to ask for some help, be willing to connect to others, never be ashamed, because all children were created for purpose, no matter how they end up being conceived. I know that today I know that my daughter was created. I got pregnant at 16, and I know that in 2015 she was created to call me to save my life. I never could understand before how much purpose there was in me being a teen mom.
The supports that I had available to me were family. Family was supportive. Physically, they made sure our needs were met, but mentally, not so much. Not knowing what to do. Not knowing which direction to go in next. Understanding that these things happen sometime and it's okay. The hardest part for me about being a teen parent was just having the courage to keep going. Being young and being a mother with 2 active parents leaves a lot of room for shame, self-doubt, and just uncertainty about life. It took a long time for me to grow to love to be a teen parent. I lost my life. I had to give my life to my daughter, this new human being. So I didn't grow to love to be a teen parent until I wasn't a teen parent anymore and understood the difference that I was making in another person's life.
I had both my parents and my brothers, and I had her father and his family members. My daughter was born in the 90s. There was a lot of stigmatism still around being a teen parent. And being in a small town, it's a little bit worse. I would say stay true to yourself, stay true to your goals. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. And don't let anybody make you believe because you're a parent young that you can't have whatever it is that you want to have. Initially I wanted to go into the Air Force, but I ended up becoming a social worker because when I was in high school, I had teachers to tell me that, oh, I guess now because you're going to have a baby, then you won't do anything but live in the projects and just have other babies. And I didn't want any other girl to go through that. I didn't want any other girl to feel the way they made me feel at that time.
I had my family members as well as my daughter's family members. I would say trying to see about her at night and complete my homework and continue to keep my grades up and to stay on honor roll. Just to continue to strive for the best, Just never give up and do the best that you can. I wanted to be a teacher, but I know I like to make a difference and help people that were less fortunate. So that's why I went into social work. I have my PhD now, but I want to work on my MSW, so I'm currently working on that now. That me and my girls kind of grew up together. You know, we had a close bond and we just grew up like sisters, and to this day, most people think we are sisters. The hardest part about being a teen parent was not able to go places like my friends was able to go off to different places. I did want to go off to college and I wasn't able to go off to college, but I was able to go and complete college, get my BS.
The support system that I had when I was a teen mom, pregnant at 16, having my first son at 17, I had my parents, my mom. She was a single mom as well, but she was there to support me along the way, as well as some friends. Oh wow, challenges I faced were a lot of self challenges. I was looking down on myself at one point, feeling as though I was a failure because I got pregnant as a teen. And then other people in the community were looking down on teen moms, but I was able to eventually find my way. Well, advice for other teen parents would be to always look to your support system and never look down on yourself. We all make mistakes, but if you get knocked down, always get up again, no matter what it looks like. And we can make it. We can make it. As a young teen, I did not want to go to school, but once I became pregnant as a teen, I felt as though I did not want to be a statistic. So I furthered my education, went to school to get my bachelor's degree, and I've worked in several fields. My degree was in allied healthcare administration, and I got my first job, stayed there 7 years, and everything has been good, going great ever since. Oh, being young, I think, I thought it was a horrible thing, but being young, being able to play sports, go to all of his events, support him in all different ways, I think having him as a young girl or young lady, it enabled me to do more things than I would have if I was older. I think the hardest part is not knowing everything, not having a job necessarily, not having a home, not being stable as far as things you need in life, but always knowing that there are resources out here to help you along the way. So all you have to do is look for the helping hand and grab hold.
Okay, well, I was in Kentucky. My dad was stationed. We lived in Kentucky, in Radcliffe, Kentucky. I'm a military brat. So I was in my last year in high school. I had completed high school, and I met my daughter's father in high school. We began to date, and during the summer after I graduated from high school, I became pregnant with my first child, Charmaine Preston, there in Kentucky. After I became pregnant, I hid my pregnancy for quite a few months, and then I had told a neighbor that lived across the street from me. I had told her mother, her and her daughter, of course, we went to school together in high school, and I had revealed to her that I was pregnant. And like I said, I hid it from my parents, from my mother and my dad, and then she told my mother. So one day my mother came home and asked me, did I need to tell her something? I said yes. And then I told her I was pregnant. She was very disappointed. She started crying. I was crying, And I had already myself set up, to go to college. My dad at the time was stationed overseas, so I had to tell him over the phone that I was pregnant with my first child at 17 years of age. Like I said, I was pregnant. We lived in base housing. Well, my dad got stationed to Fort Benning, Georgia, in Columbus, Georgia. When I was pregnant, though, I started to work. I worked at the Shoney's there in Radcliffe, and I used to walk to work every day. I know you hear the story about up a hill with snow and all that. Well, I did that because we lived up a hill, so I had to walk to work. And I did that to start, preparing to take care of the child that I was pregnant with. Well, the father of my child, he was supportive, and I got pregnant the first time I had sex. That was my first time ever having sex, and I got pregnant, and he was supportive. His mother called and asked me, was he the father? And him and his mother and my mother got into an argument and blah, blah, blah. So after that, when my dad got stationed at Fort Benning, the military packed us up and we moved to Fort Benning, Georgia. And that's where I gave birth to my daughter, Charmaine Preston, there in Columbus, Georgia. She was born at Fort Benning Hospital on the base. So during the first initial part of my pregnancy, me having her, my mother was one of my big supporters. I lived with her. My dad had just got back from Saudi Arabia, and then he saw my daughter. But my mother was real controlling when it came to my daughter because she knew I was, inexperienced. However, I still continued to work. I worked, I got a job in Columbus at a gas station, and then I continued my college education at Columbus State College at the time, is now a university in Columbus. My mother and them, they were helping, but at the same time, they wanted me to be accountable of being a single mother and being a teen mother. So I was 18 when I gave birth to her. So the father wasn't supportive at all. So there I had to raise her with the support of my parents and my mother, of course, support of my parents. So my dad made me pay rent. He made me pay cable. He made me pay water. I did get a car. It was an older car at first, and that's how I drove back and forth to work. But my mother helped take care of my daughter while I went to college and, started my working journey, should I say, there in Georgia. So as she got older, when she was about 3 years old, that's when I got a job at Albany State University as a police officer. I wanted to be an attorney, and I knew that I needed to start off with some type of law enforcement background. So I I moved here to Albany by myself. I didn't know anybody at all. My dad had bought me a new car. I was a daddy's girl, so he was more lenient than my mother. He just wanted me to be responsible with the bills. So I moved here by myself, me along with another friend that I knew. We shared an apartment, and then I raised my daughter, Charmaine, in the first apartment here in Albany. Hidden Oaks apartment at the time on Mock Road. And after I did that, I worked for Albany State as a police officer. And then a year later, I got hired at Albany Police Department as a police officer because I was doing undercover work anyway with the drug unit. So I used that to help support me also. I had another second income because the drug unit actually paid me to be undercover. So I would do that, and then I started at Albany Police Department in 1996, and I think she was like 5. So still, I'm coming into adulthood in my, in my 20s. But all in all, being a teen mom, it was kind of difficult. The dad was trying to deny that he was the father, so we took a DNA test, and of course he was the father, and he didn't pay child support till many years later when she was well up into almost her teens. So it was difficult in the sense that I was in a city that I didn't know anybody, raising this child. My mom and dad had got a divorce, so my dad was still supporting me, sending me money here to Albany to help. He paid my car insurance, paid my car payments. He did that sort of thing. But all in all, trying to raise a daughter here by myself with, no support of a family immediately in the city. I mean, I would go back and forth to Columbus to visit, but it was still hard, trying to do that. And police, because policing has hours that are, difficult, especially when you're starting off as a rookie cop. Now my daughter is 30 years old. She is living back in Columbus. In fact, ironically, she lives around the corner from where I was when we first came to Columbus 20-something years ago. She has an apartment right down the street. My mother's still there. I now have another daughter that's 17 years old. I had them 13 years apart, and that was for a reason, because I had so much difficulty in raising the first one. So my reasoning for doing this and being involved in this is that because even though you're a teen parent, you can still do it. You can still accomplish your goals. I didn't become an attorney, but I did accomplish the career goals. I made rank really fast at the police department. I retired last year, 25 years at the department as a lieutenant, and I was promotable to captain. I also finished my college education. It was hard through my years. It took me quite a bit to get it, but I managed to get my bachelor's degree and work on my master's. So now that I'm retired and I reflect back, sometimes you don't have the time to reflect back, but this gave me an opportunity before I came today to kind of reflect some of the challenges and things that I had to go through. And even though you have those challenges and different things may come up, you can still make it. There's statistically teen pregnancy, I don't know what it is, but before it was real high. But there's also some success stories from mothers making it, succeeding in their goals. Yes, I would have liked to have the support of the father, because it makes it easier for us to have a supportive parent and father. So if you have that support, don't push them away. If they're trying to be in your child's life, be co-parent healthy. Be healthy in the co-parent. And some teens, because of what happened, or they get with someone else and it's not who they think they thought that would have been there, they tendency to be vindictive and not let the father be involved. That wasn't my situation. So let them be involved if you have support on both sides, let them be supportive. However, the goal is to raise a child that is healthy and that can thrive in the community. My daughter's 30 years old. Of course, she had, she's not perfect, but I was able to, give her the tools in order for her to thrive as a citizen.
Hello, I'm Tiffany Terrell of HIP, Lead Innovative Director. As a Stronger Together partner, HIP, Healthy Influential Parents, was able to work with expecting and parenting teens around a multitude of things. We were able to create an app that will work with teen parents across the nation around several different topics. Topics that include sexual wellness, STI, pregnancy prevention, and overall wellness of the family. This past journey, we worked with 18 different healthy influential parents, which we call ambassadors, to create this app. They were able to discuss things that they wanted in the app. Throughout this process, we discovered all of the information that they wanted to know. How to create a healthy family, what pregnancy prevention looks like, and how to have overall better health, mental health as well. The HIP ambassadors were a fundamental part in creating this app because we wanted to know what teen parents across the nation were thinking, the tools that they can use, how can we make them healthy, how can we make them whole, how to defy odds, and how to beat statistics. We are so grateful for partners like the Stronger Together Project and communities in school to be able to work together to create stronger communities and stronger families.
Hey, my name is Tiara Noel, and I am a registered nurse home visitor for Nurse Family Partnership at Phoebe. Our mission is to support first-time moms have healthy pregnancies and child development, as well as provide support with navigating resources such as child care, job training, and continuing education. Nurse Family Partnership is both excited and honored to partner with Teen Journey in reaching their goals of ensuring that the teen parents in our community successfully complete high school, as well as strengthen their connection with their children, families, and community.
Hello, my name is Joanna Jackson, and I'm a community organizer, mother of a teen parent, and founder of The Guardian. At The Guardian, we support parents with resources and referrals in a variety of areas, depending on their needs. I came here to actually support the parents in the community because I was a teen mom at the age of 19. As a teen mom, one of my barriers was not knowing my community, not being able to access my community. I realized that I was my child's first advocate. So I started doing research, learning the resources in my community, attending groups, joining support groups, getting mentors, learning from their experiences. So now, as part of one of the reasons I started The Guardian is to support parents and make their path a little bit more easier. So my advice to parents is, learn your community, stay in school. Education is something that someone could never take from you.
My name is Lakeisha, and I found out I was pregnant at 14. To give y'all a little backstory, my mom was 14 when she was pregnant with me and my sister, so yeah. Being pregnant was kind of hard because I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to go back to school because I know people was going to talk about me. But then when I didn't tell them, but when I posted it, everybody was saying, congratulations, you pregnant. They were acting so surprised, and it kind of bothered me because I didn't know what to do. I'm finna be a mom at 14. My mom was mad and she was crying, but at the same time though, she was kind of there for me in some kind of a way. My grandmother was there for me throughout my whole pregnancy, and I had Miss Carr and I had more support staff, and it was really easy for me now. I went through postpartum depression through school, which caused me to have mental breakdown. To go through all of that, it was kind of crazy at the same time because I didn't know what to do, y'all. I was really, really scared. I was panicking. I didn't know what to do at the time. It was just crazy. I was sad my whole pregnancy because I'm really finna be a mom. I really gotta do all this now. It wasn't really easy because her father had left me in the beginning, and then when he realized he was wrong, he had came back, and we're working on being a full family now. Gotta go to counseling and stuff, but it's worth it. He'd be happy to see his daughter, and I'd be happy for him to see her, even though nobody really approves of it. Well, my family really don't care. It's just his on the other hand. And he's happy, I'm happy, everyone is happy. I just was a little bit scared to go back to school because half of y'all was talking about me, and it was kind of weird to me. And I felt uncomfortable going back to school. But after I got used to it, I was okay. And y'all shouldn't be scared to have kids. Everyone's gonna have kids at some point in their life. The risky part is risking everything for them. That's the risky part, but you'll get used to it. Having a baby, it isn't bad. It's actually a blessing. Some people can't have kids, and all I can say is just power through it. I did the same thing, y'all.
My name is Jose Santos, and I'm 22.
My name is Haiti, and I'm 18. I found out I was pregnant when I was 16, and I didn't even know I was pregnant, and until I had a doctor's appointment for another checkup. And when I went to the doctor appointment, they told me I was pregnant. I was confused, but I knew what I was doing. But anyways, so the doctor told me she'll give me time to tell my parents, and I had 3 weeks to tell my parents, and I told my parents during that time. And they weren't happy, but they were very supportive about everything. And also my partner was supportive with me, and he stayed with me. So that was good. And
my experience as becoming a father, I was scared at first. I didn't know what to do or what was coming up next. At first, I just got lost in the world, and then When I found out that my son was born, I was there. I was happy, but at the same time confused.
How I felt really happy, but I was confused as well because I was really concerned about my future, about how this pregnancy was gonna affect me and my future, because I'm a very organized person. I like to keep stuff planned. And whenever this came up, I was scared and I was confused. And I was sometimes sad, but I was really happy because I love babies. And when I found out, it was just a lot of feelings, a mixture of feelings, and I was just like, I didn't know how to feel about it. I was really afraid of the outcome of everything. And like I was afraid of people at school because I was going to school. I was just gonna be I was gonna be a junior, but I graduated early, so I was working really hard as a junior and trying to become a senior at the same year. And that year I worked really hard. I worked late nights and I had to keep up with my grades and classes for the 2 years to be able to graduate 1 year early. People close to me also left out of my life because I was a teen mom, and also they were judging me because of what I did, and they weren't happy about my choice, and I disappointed a lot of people from schools, family, and friends. But that didn't stop me from becoming who I am now. So whenever I went back to school, communities and schools was very helpful because they used to take us out of class to make us feel better, because we wouldn't, as a mother, I don't get breaks. I go to school, I have to make food for my son, and I have to do my work and also complete all the assignments I have left for extra classes so I could graduate early. And also when I would leave and come back in school, it was just the same thing. It was back and forth, the same thing, work, because I was working at the same time. And I was going to school and taking care of my son because I had to cook for my son. And it was just a lot. It was a lot of pressure on me, and I felt like I couldn't do it. And when this car, the person that was with the community and schools, she came and she just made it better because they gave us I felt like it was a mental break from school, parenting, and a teen mom. It was just a lot on me, and whenever communities in school came in, it was just great for me because I could sit down for at least an hour and just think about everything and just chill.
I don't really get that much time with the baby because I get home late. His nap time is usually around 10:30, 10. So that's like 3 hours, and I still have to take a shower when I get home because I work in a tire shop, which is a dirty job. The tire shop belongs to my father, so he's actually helping me out. He's been helping me out ever since he found out that I was going to be a father. He was mad at first, but he understood that I was still young and made a mistake, and he helped me out a lot.
I'm happy me and my partner are still together because he provides for me and our son, and he allowed me to continue studying, finish high school.
I'm a teen parent, and my voice matters because there are teen parents all over the world, and we need teen parents to know that they matter too. As I said a moment ago, we sometimes make mistakes, and we look at them as mistakes, but we know things are apt to happen. But always look up, always know that your life matters and your situation even matters. We never know what road we'll have to go down or what road we'll have to trod, but always know that you have a support system and that you can keep going.
I am a teen parent, and my voice matters because my story made me who I am.
because I have the willpower to continue to be someone. I was always told, or I was told by certain people that, now that you have a child, you're not going to do anything with yourself. But I was able to push forward, and I wanted better for my girls, and I was able to finish school and continue to get my PhD.
I am a teen parent and my voice matters because I am a human too.
I am a teen parent and my voice matters because I have a life to look forward to and a life to raise.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Clark. You have gained statistics, learned about teen parents, as well as adults who are teen parents. Let's work together to start to dismantle the negative stereotypes around teen parenting so that our teens can receive the support and resources that they need in order to succeed. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.